Good morning everyone, welcome to London. I'm going to see if I can do this more on the street vlog style for this bookstore, book lover's guide to London. Now, once again, this is not going to be an exhaustive list just because I don't have the time to visit all the bookstores in London. But these are a list of a few that I've always wanted to go to, and I've seen amazing videos by British booktubers who've gone to these stores, so let's see how we go. Did that work? Not really. So I'm going to do my classic voiceover, but let's start here at Persephone Books. Now, I've already posted my Persephone book haul, which was a lot, but it is such a beautiful store. I cannot recommend this highly enough. They have so many beautiful little trinkets in there as well, and it's just one of those stores that just makes you so happy to be in. It's really unique. So they have the entire collection. Sometimes they do sell out, so you can always let them know if there is a particular title that you're after. They can help you find, and they have these really great little like blurbs on each one, because it can be quite, you don't want to destroy the books in any way when you're going through them. But it is just a really lovely store, and one of the wonderful things that they do here is they actually offer postage. So if you can't fit them in your luggage for the way home, you can always ask them to post it on for you. So our next stop is Scoob Books. This is in rather an odd location. It's kind of at the back of a shopping mall arcade area, and it is slightly mind-boggling. Like with most basement bookstores, you just don't know what you're getting yourself into until you just walk through the doors and realize, oh wow, this is actually quite ginormous. And there are honestly books everywhere. It had a really weird sorting system, like they had fiction and different areas, but it was a bit odd to follow the paths. But I managed to find a few good titles, and it was a very eccentric store. Like in the music section, they actually had a piano, like an actual piano. But there's so many books here, it would take forever just to get through them all, but definitely an enjoyable bookshop to see. Okay, so Gazer Word would have to be one of my favourite bookstores I visited in London, just because it shows the sheer range of books that are written about or by people in the LGBTQ community, and it's just so wonderfully inspiring to see all these works that are really celebrating marginalised voices. The bookshop also has some historical significance because it's where Mark Ashton, who was a gay rights campaigner, lived and worked, and so it's just wonderful to just be within that really prominent part of the community, and it's such a lovely store. I highly recommend. Alright, so we have the London Review Bookshop. I was actually quite surprised at how beautiful this bookstore was. It's like hidden away besides the British Museum, and it has these amazing staff recommends areas and all these beautiful books that are quite hard to find sometimes, because it's mainly all the books that are featured in the London Review and all the favourites. So it's really quite a fantastic bookstore. It's also within this like little muse area, and there is Le Cordon Bleu nearby, so I did stop by and get a delicious treat as well. But going straight into the next bookstore, I didn't take a video of the outside area, but this is Forbidden Planet. It's kind of like a pop culture store, so it has like a sci-fi fantasy section downstairs, and they had so many signed copies. I was like grabbing things left, right and centre. But yeah, this was really fantastic for any sci-fi fantasy lovers out there. And we had a brief stop at Mina Lima. Harry Potter fans, be aware. But let's go straight into Smith's Court, or as I'd like to say, the best bookstore ever. So this is the second shelf. It is a tiny itty weeny teeny weeny little bookstore in this kind of back alley mews that's been beautifully developed, and they mainly have secondhand, some new but mostly secondhand and antiquarian books written by women. And it was just, I loved it. It was so amazing. Like the wallpaper, everything seemed really vintage. They're quite new, so I think they've only just celebrated their first year as an actual shop, and there was so many amazing titles to see. They have like first editions of some really popular feminist female authors, but for all the Victober fans out there, they even had a collection of Victorian novels that are kind of the obscure range, or ones that aren't in the popular realm. So it was just, I was so excited. It's such a beautiful store. You definitely have to stop by the second shelf. Alright, so we did just jump past the Waterstones, but they are hugely popular in the UK, so you can find them basically everywhere. But let's go to Hatchards. This is, I think, the royal supplier of books to the royal family, I think so. And they've been open since the 1700s, so it is a stunning bookstore to visit when you are in London. It is just beautiful. It has the most gorgeous staircase as well, and it has a classic range of books. It's going to have nothing unique in the way of secondhand or new releases, but the location itself is beautiful. I highly recommend. Alright, an absolute must-see is Daunt Books. This is hidden away in the Marylebone region, so not as centrally located. Well, it is central still, but it's not as close to Hatchards and the London Review of Books and things like that. But it is an absolutely stunning store. They have this beautiful, like, old library section with this beautiful stained glass window at the end. But what I really love about their store is that a majority of it is organized by country. So you have, like, for example, the Australian section will have books written by Australian authors, books set in Australia, books about Australia, and it's just such a fascinating way to really help you discover authors or even locations around the world that you might not have read before. And I'm not sure why they even started it as this more geographical ordering of their bookstore, but it was absolutely beautiful. They do have a general section at the front, which is like A to Z of authors, but yeah, definitely go through to the back to that beautiful stained glass room. Of course, no trip to London is complete without a visit to Foyle's bookstore, and it is stunning. It is like 5 floors of bookish brilliance. There's a section of just hardback classics, but there's classics, there's fiction, there's even DVDs and CDs actually, but they have amazing merchandise for the store. They even have this brilliant foreign language section, so if you're like learning anything, this would be the store to go to get textbooks. They have craft and art supply books. It's just beautiful. I highly recommend giving yourself at least an hour or two just to explore the shop itself. So as you can see, London is clearly a mecca for bookshops, but I'll see you tomorrow. Happy reading. Bye.